How's it going, everybody? Hope you're all doing well. You had a good Christmas and a good New Year, and that you ended your week strong trading. I had been out for a little bit last week with family, so I didn't do any recording, any shows, or anything like that. But I did have this clip that I took um, uh, back before the new year of some Tesla trades that I did. And I wanted to review them and I wanted to go over them with you guys to show you what can be done and to kind of highlight the strategies that I use on this channel and how they work and what they look like in real time. So you're going to see the first few minutes, the first 15 minutes of the day. I'm going to call the video 15K in 15 minutes because I make 15K in 15 minutes on this video. It was a really good day. I don't remember what day it was. Let's see if I can see. I feel like this was like the 21st maybe. I'm not sure. I can't tell. Yeah, the 21st. This was the 21st of December. So it was a pretty good day for me. And this was me trading Tesla, 10 contracts in the morning. Never went heavy size with this, just scalped it. And I just used typical C strategy setups. And I want to show you what can be done with that. So with that all being said, we'll go ahead and kick this puppy off. I'll drag myself down here. And I'm actually probably going to take myself off this, and you can kind of see me live that day, so you can kind of see my body language and reactions and stuff like that. Might be helpful, might not, but here we go. So the screen you see, there we go. We are now correct, and I've got it kicked off. So market's about to open. Again, this is December 21st. And we are going to go ahead, and I'm watching Tesla. You can notice that my Fidelity charts are down if you traded with Fidelity that day, and I think a couple of other platforms too. The system, for some reason, the charts weren't working very well. So I was jumping around trying to get it. I couldn't get Fidelity to work, but my TC2000 worked. And so if you look on the left-hand part of the screen, you'll see the 2-minute and the 1-minute chart. Those two are set up, and that's what I'll be using for the sake of this video, and that's what I was actually using that day. So I didn't even use the Fidelity charts. I used the Fidelity level 2, and I just watched Tesla. The charts you see there aren't the only charts I have. This more for recording purposes, and it does show, you know, the tops of the candles and stuff like that. So Tesla started off weak. It did gap up. So one of the rules for the Mark 1 or the one and done is you want a name that gaps up. Or that is flat, or that is generally speaking strong, and you're looking for the first 1 or 2-minute breakout. If it's a stronger candle than this, you could buy in sooner, but I'm looking for the first 1-minute breakup or breakdown. I think I'm probably trying to get my charts to work here, but I'm watching Tesla. I'm expecting it, or I'm not expecting, I'm hoping that it gaps up, or that it continues to kind of climb higher here, but I'm not just going to jump in it and wait and see. So I've got some Tesla calls open, and I want to, let's see. So I did not have my account set up to where I could actually mark it in, or limit in. And in Fidelity, you have to limit in the first 3 minutes. So I had already made up in my mind that I was not going to buy this at this point because I didn't even have a limit order set up to purchase Tesla through Fidelity. So my plan is to buy the first 2-minute breakout. I can see it's kind of ticking up. If I would have been prepared for this one, and I probably would have bought it at the bottom of that 1-minute candle, and then my stop loss would have been the instant bottom of that 1 minute. But right now I can mark it in, so I mark it in on this candle expecting a 2 and done. I get pretty decent fill, 24.13. I'm giving it a little bit of time here because it hasn't dropped down, it hasn't gone up. I know my risk is probably a point or so if it fails. I'm giving it a little bit of a chance to kind of rip. There you go. We're starting to tick up towards the top of this candle. My eyes are on the level 2, but I know I'm already a point up in this, and you can pretty much sell at any time. This is a 2 and done. It's also a green takes red on the 2-minute. A green candle is taking out a red candle on the 2-minute. This is your first breakout in Tesla on a gap up. Just holding this. The reason I'm holding it, I'm kind of expecting it to follow through a little bit. I'm not holding it necessarily for like a run all the way up. I'm not going to hold this all day. I'm just giving it that little bit of room to see if it wants to go. It kind of slowed down and ticked down. Some of the level 2 started ticking down, so I sold, and I'm ready to get back in there. That's a little over 2 points. You can see where my day started at 33,000. It's now at 36,000 in this particular account that I'm trading in. I'm now doing a strategy that I talked about, and I'll pause this video really quick. That I, it's basically a one and done. So a two and done happened here. A green takes red. If you look where my mouse is on the cursor, a 2-minute bar. We have a 2-minute green bar taking out that. That's your first break. You can see on the top chart, the 1-minute volume, we've got a decent amount of buying volume coming in. If we look up here, it worked. Now, this third candle is not what we call an M1, a Mark 1, because it has to actually go lower. So you have to have a candle close lower than the previous 1-minute high for it to be what we call an M1, a Mark 1. It didn't do that. But what I am doing is basically in Tesla, a lot of times when it runs up, I guess when I'm talking like this, I can put my face up here. What I do when this is happening is I buy every 1-minute breakout. It's more risky, but it often pays because Tesla doesn't always reset. So you get 2 or 3 candles, 1-minute candles, that tick up higher. So if I go back a few seconds, you can see when I'm going to buy. I haven't bought it yet. We'll go ahead and play. I'm watching it. I know the level of that candle. I'm watching the level 2. The second that level 2 started ticking higher, I click buy. I might be a second late there. That's decent fill. It's closer to the ask, but it's still a decent fill for that early in the day because I got no price improvement, just a good fill. So I'm ready to sell. I'm expecting Tesla again. I think Tesla usually pops. It usually gives you a little bit of a follow through there. Ready to sell. I'm holding it. It's only, a few seconds in. I'll just watch this play out. I'm giving it that little bit of room. Definitely green on the trade right now if I would have sold. Actually, this is my first time rewatching this, so we'll see what I did. Smart thing to do would have been to sell right there. I didn't, so there's a small loss, and I didn't sell that initial pop, which is usually how I trade these. I kind of sell that initial pop, and I paused it here. So but I didn't, whatever. I think I was waiting for another 2 or 3 point run to see what it would do. If you can see the cursor, it's checking the top of the price. So as soon as I sell, I'm not looking down there and seeing where I'm at in my fills and what happened. I'm just looking up at the top of the chart because I'm going to buy the next 1-minute breakout. I've got 17 seconds before this candle closes, so I'm getting ready to purchase the next candle. So I get that level. I can't see what it is, and I'm ready to re-enter. I'm getting ready to re-enter these contracts. See, it went up a little bit. I don't hold through those whip downs. Would have been obviously about a point trade instead of a $200 loss if I would have held that. Something I'm kind of keeping in mind. Because of how choppy it was last time and it didn't just run up, I think that was my thought process here. I'm giving it a little bit more time to see if it wants to pull down. I purchased as it kind of ticked through. Not the greatest. I'm on the top. So I spot and sold there. Because it hesitated and didn't just run, I sold, and I lost a few cents there. I don't think I trade this few trades perfect. I think they're a little spotty, in my opinion. Let's wait for an actual Mark 1 setup to happen. But often that's kind of how I do Tesla. Let's throw back to what I'm looking at that day. So I can kind of see how my fills are, how things are working. I made on the first one, gave back 30 cents or $300 or so off of the first trade. It's no big deal. I'm not giving a lot of room. I'm not winning. I'm not losing a lot. I'm just waiting. So okay, so here we go. Now we have what could be an actual Mark 1 setup. You have Tesla. This is a textbook. This is what you're looking for when you're looking for a Mark 1. You have a chart that has gone above the first 2-minute high. So your first candle is the first 2-minute high. It's ticked up a couple candles. You've got some strength, some increasing volume on the 1-minute. Going up, a little bit of a topper, and it starts pulling down. Let's let this play. Excuse me. So the top of this current candle would be your Mark 1. The technical strategy is you would wait for this candle to close and then buy the breakthrough. What I do, especially when I'm playing aggressively, is I look and I want to buy it whether or not the candle closes. So now it's ticked down. I know what the top of that candle is, and my eyes are on the level 2 waiting for it to tick up. It doesn't have to technically close for me. The strategy is wait for it to close, and the candle will close in 18 seconds. I know for a fact I'm going to buy it if it goes up, no matter what happens. This is what we call a Mark 1 setup. It's one of my favorite setups. It started ticking up, I bought. And I loaded the sell, I'm ready to sell. I can see my entry price, I'm already green on the trade no matter what happens here. I sold because it didn't go in my favor right away, and I took a loss there. So look, I front ran it. So that was not a failed Mark 1. That was a failed front run because I paused the video really quick. And this is important to notice, and this is generally how I trade these. So I bought down there. If it would have went up, I would have made. It didn't, I sold. Now you could do it and you could give something more room. I generally don't, because I'm just going to jump back in. And I kind of like to protect it because early when Tesla's trading like this, it can whip against you. It could whip in your favor and you could really, get wrecked. So I didn't want to do that. Instead, I wanted to play it safe. You play it how you want to play it, because I know I can just jump back in. So I'm still waiting for that Mark 1, and I'm looking for a front run entry. I lost 40 cents there, $400. I'm ready to get back in. It's important to note at the time I actually wasn't thinking about how much I was making or losing. So I got back in at 29.16 because the level 2 started ticking towards the top, and here's your Mark 1. Now the Mark 1 is triggered. It's gone through the top of the previous candle. A little bit of a wick back. I'm still sitting there, mouse declicked, ready to sell. I'm giving it that little bit of room because I know I'm more than a point up, so I'm probably not going to have a 1.5 whip down in Tesla before I can click sell. So I'm sitting there, I'm watching the ask, and I'm just ready to sell if it doesn't go higher. Second reason I'm holding this one for a little bit is you have a green takes red that could set up at day highs on the 2-minute chart if this 2-minute goes higher. So I'm just giving it that little bit of room. There's nothing wrong with doing this. I could have taken profits. I could have done whatever. There it goes. There's the pop. Now I'm 3-4 points up in the name. I bought at 29.16. The contract now trading at $34. I could sell at this point. I could hold at this point. Let me jump back so you can see me on that day. Just waiting, watching, deciding when I wanted to sell. Oh, there was my sell. So I missed it. So I think it held still and I sold. So it started ticking down some and I sold. You can go back and see what that is. That was basically just it slowed down some. I decided to take the profit. I know I can get back in. Notice my cursor. I instantly checked the top of this current candle. We had a Mark 1 trigger and a green takes red trigger on the 2-minute. I'm looking to buy the candle as soon as it starts ticking back up through the current day high. This is an aggressive play. It's more of a bend. It's not a, it's like a one and done. This is more of a one and done now. The reason I say this is a one and done, and the reason I have confidence in this, pause the video again, is you had a Mark 1 that worked. So you had a green takes red that works. You had a Mark 1 that works. So obviously Tesla is working and it's moving in the direction I want it to go. So when strategies are working and I'm not taking big losses when they're not working, it gives me a lot of confidence to continue to play. So what I'm looking for now is I'm going to buy the next 1-minute breakout no matter what. So I'm watching the level 2 ask, and as soon as it starts going up, I'm going to click buy. If it ticks down, that's fine. Starts ticking down. I don't click buy. I'm just waiting. My eyes are on the level 2. If you see me talking on that video, I'm in chat in Discord. If you ever want to trade with me and trade with some other really great traders, I'll post a link to the Discord in the description of this video. You can come and join us. And you'll see me call out plays like this. You'll see other people call out plays like this. So now we have another Mark 1 setting up on Tesla. It's a semi Mark 1. You didn't get a ton of volume on the last breakout, but it did work. So I've got the top of the current red candle. I know what that level is, and I'm now watching that for a breakout. Anytime this ask starts ticking up, I'm going to purchase a 1-minute breakout. So I'm talking in chat. I might have been on the phone with somebody, but I'm sitting there ready to go. Here's the next 2-minute bar. This is a Mark 1. This is 100% Mark 1. You've got a candle that ticked higher. The last candle closed below the high of the previous candle. Ready to purchase it if it wants to go up. Notice I'm not just jumping in, jumping out. I'm waiting for a good buy point. I purchased right there because it started ticking up. It kind of based for a few seconds, so It based, it didn't fall down, it didn't tick up. I'm giving it a chance to run up here. I'm already in the position. I'm already a little over a point up. I'm now 2 points up. Look how quickly Tesla moves. A little bit of excitement there. It should be. You know, I'm nailing these setups. So I'm up, you know, a little bit in that one. I think I should have sold. Probably was a little bit too excited, and I didn't sell to quote unquote capitalize on the best spot. I might have been in my head, okay, it's run up a couple of times, so I'm going to give it a little bit of room. I'm not going to let it go red. And it didn't go. I sold. So, you know, that's a point and a half right there. That's another 1,000 something. So now I'm at 42,000. That's 9,000 on the day, and we're only about 10 minutes in. So I'm averaging just under 1,000 a minute right now. It's a pretty good paycheck. So then now that Tesla didn't run up, here's what's going through my head. It didn't go up. I'm like, okay, maybe it needs to go down and hit the 8. Or maybe I need another 2-minute red bar, and that's what's going to take it higher. Now, I'm still, like, as a trader, probably going to buy the next 1-minute breakout no matter what happens. Like, I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, okay, I am going to buy this if it breaks out. But what I'm actually looking for is it to hit the 8, because you had a strategy that triggered, and then instead of getting elevated volume on that strategy that pops higher, that gets you, like, you know, a bigger run, it's sold off. Also, your 1-minute stochastic is curling down, so when I see that, I'm like, okay, it needs to hit the 8. So I'm waiting, and now it just hit the 8. If you look at that 1-minute chart, I bought. Here's a strategy that if you're in the room, we call boofing it. You can call it some other things too, but look where it is when I bought. I bought when it came down, it pulled down, it hit the 8, and it's settling, the 8 EMA. And now that if you watch level 2 there, you go back, it's kind of settling. The price didn't keep dropping, it kind of stopped for a second. I bought in $28.99, and now I'm already green on the trade, and I'm waiting for it to go up. If it goes down, I instantly sell. Another thing that I liked about that time was that was the last 10 seconds of the previous candle. So you were about to get a new candle, it hit a moving average, and it started ticking up. In my head, I know I am already going to buy this if it goes up. So I just front run the strategy that I want to play by buying it sooner. It's risky in the sense because it's not triggering, but it also pays a little bit more. If this 1-minute candle would have failed, I just would have instantly sold. I wouldn't have lost my day. I wouldn't have given it any room there because I'm trying to get in and get it moving in the direction I want it to go. So that was what I did. I bought it on the 8 EMA when the price leveled out for about a second. I'm already up in the trade a little bit, and I'm just watching it. I'm green, so I know I'm going to win. I'm watching the ask right here on the level 2. This is where my eyes are at. My eyes are always right here. And I'm just watching this, just waiting. I sold. I sold because they ticked down. Like you could see it ticking down. I still got a good price. I still made, I don't know, a little over a point on that, $1,200 or so. So I'm about $11,000 up right now. And the day's just beginning. Now, I'm still going to buy this again. It just didn't go as quickly as I wanted. Some people would have given this more room. Here's something I do. So I bought back in. I got a worse price. It doesn't matter because I wasn't confident it was going to go up. It kind of ticked around and messed around a little bit. So I was like, it might go back up. I'm going to get back in. I gave it a chance. I'm ready to get back out. I've got my sell loaded, but it didn't drop. So let's just wait and see what happens. You also have another minute bar here closing. So this is a know your limit 8 strategy here. That's about to trigger. Whatever the top of this green bar is a know your limit 8, because a know your limit 8 is after you get these triggers and it goes up, the chart comes back down and it hits the 8 EMA. The next 1-minute breakout is a know your limit 8. So whenever we say that, that's what we're referring to. This is a know your limit 8. So I am buying this candle, and the reason I bought back into this was probably in the last 15 seconds of the candle, and I'm buying the break of this 1-minute candle, or right before the break of this 1-minute candle. So I'm in 30.50, watching the level 2 here. I sold because it didn't go in my favor. I didn't like that. It didn't rip right away. I'm ready to get back in. I lost 20 cents. It's fine. It doesn't matter. This is just how I do it. I don't give my stuff a lot of room. Other people, you know, if you give it more, it might work too. But the stochastics are also pointing down. Here we go again. I jump right back in. 30.65 is my buy point. I'm ready to sell. I'm watching this intently. watching that level 2. I'm giving it a little bit of time because, you know, it's chopping around. I sold. I don't like it when stuff like that happens. I lost about a point there, about 900 bucks. So you see, that's kind of the risk. And now I'm jumping back in. I'm kind of bending a little bit here, jumping in, jumping out. It would have been better for me just to hold it. That's just not how I play this. Probably get chopped around here a little bit more before it actually goes. Let's see. So I bought in. I think I told myself, okay, I'm just going to give it some room. I sat back, gave it some room. It went back. I'm sure I make back what I lost here. So I got the pop. That's a know your limit 8 pop. I'm up 3 points in this one. There you go. You see how I said boom. Made it. You know, I had a few trades there when I lost. I lost about 1.5 points, $1.50. And then when it actually triggered and went, you can see that you had what we call a portal. So this is an interesting trade. I'm going to pause it here. And you can't see the 5-minute chart. I could go back. I'm pretty sure a 5-minute chart had a 5-minute breakout happening here too. So you had a mark 5. But I'm just going to do the one in the 2-minute. And know your limit 8 triggered right here. This candle never triggered, I'm pretty sure. This one does. It triggers, it goes up, and it portals you. When you hear us say a portal, it means like one strategy goes to another strategy. So stochastics aren't set up great, but they start crossing up, and you get this breakout here, and the know your limit 8 breaks out, and that portals you through this 2-minute breakout. So you have some momentum to get you through 2 strategies, 2 times of the computer buying all these stocks and hoping that it runs it up some. So I'm about 3 and I sell there. So I made another, I don't know what that, 30.56 was my buy, and I sold at 32 or 33. So I'm ready to buy back in. I'm watching it. Video is almost done. I got about a minute left. At this point, I'm up 15 grand on the day. So 15 grand, and the market's been going on for 14 minutes. So I made a little over $1,000 a minute in the first 15 minutes. I could be done right now, and I'm pretty sure I might do one more trade, but I'm pretty sure I am done. Oh, I changed contracts. You can see why I changed contracts. I didn't get any price improvement on the last sell, so I didn't like my price, so I tried a different contract here. Not positive if I do another trade or not. I did, bought 25.38. I'm just hoping for that continuation higher. Do we get continuation? I probably do. So this is just buying that kind of that continuation pop. So that's 2-3 points up now. So $25 was 25.38. Now I'm up at like $28, $27. Just ready to sell. You can see that explosion when that green takes red actually happened on the 2-minute. And we'll wait for me to sell this. And I sold. And according to this, I got like 20 seconds left on this, so that's pretty much it. And then you can see what I did there. I checked the top of the level. I actually think this was the top of Tesla for today. I think it popped down. I shorted it some, but I was pretty much done for the day. I started the day at 33,000, and now the account's at 47,000. That is the power of the C strategies. That's the power of what we do in this Discord room. That's the power of what you can do and how you can trade things. And notice I wasn't going big size. You know, I'm only trading 10 contracts here. Usually I'm a 30 contract trader. But up to this point in the month, it had been really choppy, really slow. So I had sized down. After this, I kind of size up, and I think I go 10, 20, 30 again in the future for the rest of December. It was a decent December for me. But what I was looking for, you know, at this point in the month, it wasn't. And I was waiting, and I was waiting, and I just saved my account, and I just sized down in my account to where I couldn't lose a lot, put 30 in, and just sat there and traded small. I was up a little bit on the month. I started at 30 at this point in the month. About halfway through, I was up, I think it was like 3 grand or something in this particular account. And then all this happens, and in one day, it goes from those small wins that are just steadily adding up and consistent to a day where boom, 15 grand in 15 minutes. All doing C strategies. Waiting for Tesla, first 2-minute breakout. I almost always play that. It's kind of a one and done strategy. You then have these 1-minute breakouts that work, that I play. It then pulls down, you get your first mark 1. I play that, and you saw that happen. It then pulls down, it goes up some, but the Mark 1 doesn't continue for a lot higher. So you know, okay, leave it alone. You notice I didn't do anything there. I waited it for it to pull down. It hit the moving average. Once it hit the moving average, I bought the next 1 minute breakout. A few buys in here expecting it to go up. Sometimes I get chopped around in there and lose a lot. Like sometimes you can mistrade that, and you definitely have to practice trading this area. It can be very difficult, but I could have done that a little better, but generally speaking, that's how I play those areas. Sometimes better, sometimes worse. Sometimes I give things more room. Sometimes I, different things. Sometimes I only do one trade per candle or buy closer to the trigger. But you saw how I played that, and then those little 1 minute breakouts. I call those like one and dones. Just you're buying just those 1 minute breakouts as they go higher. So that's how I made 15,000 in 15 minutes back on December 21st. Day before my birthday. I think my video this night I talked about how I thought Tesla was going to go, or the day before this I talked about how I thought Tesla was going to go up to 1100 area. It did, and I didn't make any money on that other than just day trading it, but it was fun, and Tesla got fun for a few times towards the end of the month and gave us a couple of days like this where these strategies worked. I'm going to post some new strategies soon that has some stuff like this in it, that has some videos and that has explanations of strategies and stuff, along with me trading them so you actually get them live. But you can go back through and watch these, and if you have questions about a timestamp in the video, let me know. I can go back and look at it and answer them. But I think that's it for today. I wanted to show what was possible even with a small account size, what you could do with just 10 contracts if you can take these trades when they set up, and how I trade the first. Generally speaking, this is how I trade the first 10 or 15 minutes. I don't always make this much, but this was a good day, and so I thought I would share it with you guys. So hope you all have a fantastic new year, and hopefully you can start this Monday off ready to go, printing some cheddar and making good trades. Have a good one. If you like this content, like it, share, subscribe, so we can get the word out there about what we do here and about how it works. And I'll drop a link to the Discord down below.